Welcome to Come Get Woo Woo. We're your hosts, Becky and Ro, here to hold space for the unseen, the unspoken, and the deeply felt. This is a place for seekers, for those who sense that there's more, for those who hear between the words, feel beyond the room, and know without knowing why.
Together, we'll explore the language of spirit, the clarity of your clairs, and the signs that rise up when you're ready to notice. You're not imagining it, you're remembering it. This is Come Get Woo Woo.
Hey, Woo Woo Seekers. Welcome to today's episode of Come Get Woo Woo with Becky and Ro. I'm Becky.
And I'm Ro. But before we dive into today's episode of Messages in Motion, what Spirit revealed this month, let's do a check-in. So, Becky, any plans for Thanksgiving?
My family does not do Thursday because we're big and everybody has significant others and this, that, and the other thing. So we actually get together on Saturday. And I think we're upwards of almost 30 people.
My goodness.
Yeah. we've got 2 turkeys, a ham, whole plethora of different things. So it's chaotic and noisy, and I love every second of it. How about yourself?
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to have a house full of Anastasia coming for the week. And then on Wednesday, her boyfriend and Riley are coming here as well. So they're going to be staying the night. I'm not sure till when, maybe Friday, Saturday. So it'll be nice to hang out with Riley again. And then we're going to my parents' house.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what they're cooking. Kyle's going to make corn pudding, he said. And then Anastasia has some stuff she's cooking too. And I think I'm in charge of squash pie and apple pie.
I am in charge of squash myself. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, what kind of squash are you making?
Butternut. How about yourself?
It's zucchini. So it's
okay.
more of like a zucchini.
So a little bit different, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, fun.
Do we have any new things that our listeners would be interested in knowing?
Yeah, we changed up our website a little bit to make it easier to find our podcast companion meditations. So on the top, you'll see a link for our podcast, Come Get Woo Woo with Becky and Ro. If you scroll down, you'll see a button that says Companion Meditations, which will lead straight to our Come Get Woo Woo channel. With these meditations, you can start aligning, strengthening, and practicing your class. All of our companion meditations have the same covers, so you can find them easily on YouTube. Also, on the podcast page on the website, you'll see Podcast Extra button. So, Becky, you've been putting some really cool things in the extras. What have you been adding?
A few of the things I added just to help anybody that was following along with the episodes about astrology and astrology with the Clairs is a grid that you can download and print off that will give you kind of a very brief description of each of the planets, each of the houses, each of the signs, and actually what they represent, what they mean. And then we have, on there any special notes or rituals that we might do, plus some fun pictures and any videos that we might share. It's a great way to kind of see what we're talking about. So, Ro, can you tell us some of the new meditations for the upcoming months that we'll be releasing?
We have guided meditation for your intuition, which is like a guided exercise that helps you tune into your intuition with clarity and trust.
I also have a sacred tree meditation for intuition. It opens your awareness to the subtle messages, feelings, and insights of your intuition. And that can be also found at the Woo Woo Seekers channel. You can always go straight to comegetwoowoo.com and click into the sacred tree meditation and find that.
And then you could search for intuition on that webpage as well.
Yes.
Is that released?
Yes.
Yep. Awesome. Also, there's going to be a guided meditation for manifestation through your intuitive alignment. So this one's going to connect to your inner guidance, focus your energy, and call in what you're ready to receive. And then grounded joy for empaths during the holiday season is another, and you'll learn how to hold your own energy, stay grounded in your heart, and move through crowds and family gatherings and emotional intensity without losing your center. So look out for those.
With my big family, we'll be doing that again at Christmas. So yeah, I'm going to need that meditation, definitely.
Oh, so what about our Woo Woo Seekers channel? We have anything going on there?
In case you missed it, our Woo Woo Seekers channel on YouTube, for anybody that doesn't know, what the Sacred Tree meditations do is they guide you into the inner sanctuary that shifts and responds to your energy. So each journey offers grounding, clarity, gentle, intuitive insights, making the tree the place that you can return to again and again. I was just talking to one of my coworkers, and she just listened to one of our meditations on the sacred tree for the first time. And she just was like, oh my God, it was so easy to get into. She goes, I felt like it was at home. So it was a wonderful feedback that I hadn't expected.
Oh, that makes my heart happy.
I know. Some of the ones that we've actually released for this month is the Sacred Tree Guided Meditation for Renewed Sleep. And I know that this was true to your heart.
Yeah. So like part of the way it has very slow music for like 15 minutes and then it continues on.
Very nice. Very nice. So then we have the Sacred Tree for Your Mentor Guide, which I thought was kind of fun because, we always have that one person that we feel guided by, and you're connecting with that person, whoever it is.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. So you could call in, I don't know, Edgar Casey if you wanted to be a
Correct.
mentor. Yeah. So
yeah,
pretty cool.
Absolutely. So, and then this one was a fun one to do. I did one similar to this way back when we started this, and it's the Sacred Tree Meditation, Meeting Your Joy Guide. So that one's it's a little on the fun side. Yeah. And then lastly, we have the Sacred Tree of Your Future Self. So that one's interesting. I haven't listened to that one yet, so I'm curious to see about that one.
I really like doing this one. This one was fun. It's meeting your future self and then, seeing what kind of messages you get from them.
Very cool. Very cool. We have a tendency to go back and talk to our past self, but I don't think I've ever explored meeting my future self. So that's kind of exciting. Also, don't forget that on December 1st, we will be releasing all of the word meditations for December. You can find them in our December newsletter, which will be released on the 1st also. And you can find that at comegetwoowoo.com. All of our meditations are listed on our website as well.
Yeah, I love that. So this way, if somebody's ahead, they could go and see what we're doing each of the weeks.
All right. So let's get into today's episode. So each week we had given you 3 words from the Woo Woo Seekers Journal series. And today is the day that Ro and I share our experiences, building our spiritual dictionary together with everyone who wants to play along. As we've talked about before, Spirit communicates to each of us in many different ways. And this is our chance to see it in action. We're exploring seeing, hearing, feeling, smelling, tasting, and knowing of each of these words. We invite you to try it too, noticing how Spirit speaks to you. Because Ro and I have talked about this, that we see things totally different. So last month, we actually did the word clarity. So Ro, do you want to give us an idea of what you saw in clarity?
Okay. I saw a village of teepees. There was a woman and she had an eagle on her arm. And when she let go, I felt like I was the eagle soaring in the wind. And the knowing that I received was that clarity comes from seeing different points of view. How about you, Becky?
Well, see, and that's where ours differs, because initially Clarity was looking through binoculars that were like focusing. And then I got swirls of yellow. And then it went into the game of Jenga. And I heard the song lyrics, When You're Ready, Come and Get It, from Selena Gomez. So yeah, it was completely different than yours.
So we'll be starting with the first book of the Woo Woo Seekers Journal, A Journey for Your Signs and Symbols. This book breaks it down into 3 categories: emotions and states, people and places, and everyday objects. If you don't have a copy, no worries. Just grab a notebook and follow along. But if you want your copy, hop on over to comegetwoowoo.com and click on the Woo Woo Seekers Journals. And from there, you can purchase them through Amazon. This way, you don't have to search through Amazon. Whether it's an emotion, a person, a place, or even an everyday object, Spirit leaves messages everywhere. If we slow down and tune in, these episodes give us space to practice, compare, and grow our spiritual language together. We've come prepared with the 9 words we'll be focusing on, and we're excited to see what Spirit reveals for each of the clairs. As we share our experiences, you'll notice how uniquely each of us receives guidance. Spirit speaks in many ways, and sometimes the smallest, most ordinary signs carry the biggest messages. So this month, our 9 words fall into the 3 categories. So here are the categories and the words. Emotions and states, we're doing contentment, courage, and desire. For people and places, we're doing chapel, city, and child. And for everyday objects, we're doing box, bridge, and broom.
Yeah, we'll be taking each one of these words one at a time, sharing what came through for us across the clairs. So you may not, and we may not, receive messages for every sense each time. And that's okay. As your clairs get stronger, other senses may appear. Revisiting the same words can reveal even more layers of guidance over time. There are bonus prompts in the books for each of these words, and we encourage you to dive deeper into them. We will not be sharing the bonus prompts with these episodes.
Okay, now for the fun part.
Yes.
We didn't talk about our experience ahead of time. So just like you, we're hearing it fresh as we go. So grab your journal, open your senses, and join us to see what Spirit revealed this month. So let's dive in. Let's start with contentment. Let's hear what you got, Becky.
Okay, I put everything in a notebook. So if you hear pages turning, that's me. Okay. So when I went into meditation, one of the things that I saw a person relaxing in a canoe or kayak. It would look more like a kayak, but it was very calm water. It was like glass. That's the only way I can describe it. It was just, they were laying back, not a care in the world. So the picture that I saw was this person on the canoe, and it was like a silhouette, but it was on the middle of the lake at sunset with fall colors reflecting the lake. I heard the trickles of the water, like lapping. I smelt fresh, clean, crisp air. That's what I smelt. And this was really kind of cool, like knowing true contentment comes from within. That was what I had. I had nothing for taste. Yeah.
That's funny. Wait until you hear mine.
Oh, wow. What did you have?
So I was brought back to the scene of clarity.
Okay. Okay.
Except for it was me sitting on top of the mountain. There was a fire beside me, and, down below there was the sea of teepees, and the eagle was sitting beside me. And I could hear the crackling of the fire going and the smell and taste of the fire smoke.
Very cool.
And the feeling of contentment and peace. Like this was my go-to spot for just being. So this is the funny part. So the knowing that I got was it doesn't matter where you find contentment. It could be on your couch or with your family, but contentment lies within you, and no one else can fill the spot. Only you need to find it.
It totally aligns with everything that I just said too. Yeah. So our guides must have been collaborating on that one, huh?
Yeah, something. I thought that was funny. I'm like,
yeah. And this proves that we don't actually talk about these beforehand. Sometimes mention like, my God, you won't believe what I got for da da da. But I can't wait to share it with you. But we don't talk about them. So that's really cool. All right. So do you want to tell us what you got for courage?
Sure. So this one I had trouble with. So when I did this meditation, I wasn't relaxed. I was just running around my house and I couldn't get past clairvoyance. What I saw was interesting. It was a huge base of a tree. And I inferred here, I didn't stay with the meditation, but I was thinking about it and it reminded me of our sacred tree because it was just like this big old tree. And here we are putting ourselves out here when we knew nothing about recording, editing, but we're sticking to it. And they're not perfect and we're not perfect. And I think of us. We went into the unknown. And for me, it definitely took courage to do so. And it probably helped that we had each other to do this.
Agreed.
I'm not sure if I would do this alone. So my message, even though it wasn't in meditation, was even if you don't know how to do something, you have the courage to at least try before calling it quits without even starting or trying.
Oh, that's so cool. We must be in sync because there are parts that are very similar. So mine took me back to the podium. I think it was the anxiety one. My hands were sweaty, all signs of being anxious or scared. That was what I was seeing. And the feeling that I had is the feeling of anxiety, just like you were talking about. It's the unknown. What I heard, because I do love this song, is a line from an Eminem song. I know I told you I listen to all types of music, right? It's an Eminem song, and it's one of his famous ones, Lose Yourself, right? And the line is, palms are sweaty, knees are weak, arms are heavy. And that was exactly what I was feeling. But here's the part that goes with it, is the knowing. So even though I was feeling and I heard this, I knew this. Taking a step into courage isn't for the weak, but every step places you one step closer to becoming the version of you are proud of.
Oh, I really like that.
Yeah, so that was really cool. They're not exactly the same, but they certainly clearly give the same message.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's funny, an Eminem song.
I know. I told you that I have an eclectic taste of music. Okay, so for desire, I didn't get a whole lot for desire. So I tried this several different times. I saw colors. Now, when I say I saw colors, you know how you take us through all of the different chakras?
Mm-hmm.
So for each chakra, the color would change. I saw the color of the chakras go through the meditation, but I only felt and knew it was that desire cannot be seen until you understand what your wants and dreams are. And then the sky's the limit.
Oh.
So it was very brief, but very powerful.
I had trouble with this one too.
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I don't know. It's weird. So I saw swirls of dark blue and deep purple and stars in between. It was like some cosmic picture.
I find it funny that both of us saw colors for that one.
Yeah, me too. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
While you were going over yours.
I'm sorry, continue.
So the hearings, when I was doing this, it just started to rain because I didn't hear it before the meditation or after. For me, it was something notable to mention, And the feeling I had was more of like a wanting feeling. And I got two parts to this knowing. So the first part of the message was our desires come from us. And then I felt as if somebody was sitting on my chest, that kind of feeling. And the second part of the message was sometimes these desires can stifle us.
Oh, that's a good lesson. You're 100% right, because sometimes, you get that over obsessive wanting of that desire.
Mm-hmm.
I could totally see that stifling people. Very cool.
It was different. The feeling on the chest, that was like, get
Yeah.
off of me. Did you want to go over child?
For child, I saw a child roughly about 5 or 6 years old, long dark hair, and she had a white layered dress. She had black or brown shoes that were kind of like ballet slippers. And she was curled up in a ball, but her face was down and her hair was covering her. So I couldn't see her face or anything, but I did see like an adult hand like reaching out to her. It was the weirdest thing. It was just the hand. So still not 100% knowing what that is, but I felt relief and protectedness of that at the same time of that little girl. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then I went into a totally different scene. You know, me and I have to have a couple different scenes. So I have an uncle and an aunt that actually had a restaurant at one point in time that my cousins and my sisters and we all played in this restaurant because it was a very small town, very informal. And we were going in the back room and see, this would be one of those things that I have no shame and I will tell you everything. So my cousin Amy and we used to perform and we'd lip sync to songs and make performances for our parents and family because we thought we were so cool. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking about this.
I think every kid does that. I think I did that as a kid too.
Our favorite song was Brian Adams' Summer of '69, by the way, and any Journey song. So that is what I was seeing. So my sisters, my cousin and I, we were all performing for our families. And what I got knowing wise is this word can provoke memories. And for me, it also provoked joy and fun. And it's a symbol of ancestral and inner child needs. I think the little girl that was like curled in a ball was that inner child. And for me, it was all about the innocence of a child and the joy that they have and they can bring. Probably 100% guarantee that my parents were like, oh, for God's sakes. Not another one. Because it was every Sunday. How about yourself? What did you have?
Oh, that's pretty cool. So this one, I tried several times. So each time I started to think of Anastasia and my chest was like full of love. That's how it felt, just full of love. So it was like the type of love that you wanted to stay and linger and just be. But then I was in a forest and a boy with dark hair and large curls, like they're not like full curls.
Big barrely curls.
Yeah. He was wearing a bright yellow short outfit and he had no shoes.
Mm.
I kind of felt like a stranger in his land. We didn't talk. He was smiling and happily dragged me into an open field. And then I felt like I was in danger and half expecting people to come at me with spears. So then I stopped. I'm like, I think I'm getting in my head. So then the next time I tried, I started again with Anastasia and the Love. And again, I was standing in the same forest with the same boy wearing yellow, no shoes, and him grabbing my hand. And I asked him his name, and he said his name was Jonah. And he was me in a past life. I did this upstairs before going to sleep, and my mind like wandered right out of meditation. So like big mistake. Trying to do it before going to sleep, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I watch TikTok before I go to bed. So it keeps the mind from getting in the way. So the third time I tried, same Anastasia, same feeling, same boy, same woods, same clothes, no shoes, and the same walk to the field. However, it felt like I was being led into scenes from the movie Twilight.
Oh, okay.
So the first time Bella saw Edward sparkling, or they were on top of a field, like playing some sort of sport. And just that whole scene was just beautiful, the whole beauty of it. And the knowing I got was you need to revel in the awe of something new. So as adults, we rush through new experiences. So we're not taking in every detail. We're not sitting in it. It's like that's nice and move on to the next thing. So it was experience the experience instead of rushing through the experience.
I am sitting here shaking my head because you're absolutely right. I do that where I just like, oh, okay, and then move on.
Right. Yeah, I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, that's nice. I think my brain's going to take a picture of it for later on, but you don't experience it that way. You want to go over chapel?
I will, because it's very brief. I believe it was in Arkansas. I went on a trip, and it was an aunt and two of my cousins and myself. It was a girls' trip. And we went to Arkansas, of all places, right? We went randomly where there was wineries and golfing. And now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a great golfer. They are. I was just a fourth person for golfing. I do like golfing, and I will be doing a lot more of it eventually. Anyway, so one of the wineries we stopped at, he was a bishop, and he had actually made his own chapel. This is like a small itty bitty town. I cannot remember. I think it was Arkansas. I really don't remember. So I walk into this chapel, and this chapel is literally wall to wall, hand carved wood and carved in this intricate detail. It was beautiful. It was absolutely a gorgeous little chapel. And the whole thing I could hear. So like I said, very brief, because the only thing I could hear is you singing and going to the chapel. Because when we were doing the newsletter, that was all. I was like, you're like, now I'm going to have that song in my head. And that's what I kept on hearing. Like I said, very brief. That was it. I didn't get any knowing from it.
Well, that was funny.
Yeah. So I'll defer. Go ahead.
All right.
What did you get for chapel?
Okay. I saw a chapel, and it kind of looked like the picture you had sent with the Northern Lights. So you have to put that on the website. That's what my chapel looked like to me. Okay. But then I was seeing inside the church that I grew up in. So I felt like I was in the church, but then flickering to a chapel. So it was weird. So I don't know if I was fighting it or not, but it was very strange going from like a chapel to a church. Two very different things.
I'll make sure I put it on the extras.
Yeah. So I heard a church bell, but then my favorite song.
The going to the chapel.
Going to the chapel.
The one that I kept on hearing over and over again.
I couldn't help it. I knew that was going to come up,
Yeah, I started laughing after I was done. I was like, okay, I'm writing this down because this is it. I didn't get much of it. And it was like, yeah. So your voice is always running through my head, by the way. No, it's good. It's that Libra energy. It calms me.
Good. And then I smelled smoke. So in church, they walk around with incense in a small pot that they swing around.
I think that's Catholic churches, though, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And the knowing that I got was it doesn't matter what the people are saying at the altar. It's the gathering of people and the whole camaraderie of it all. You know what I'm saying? Being with people and sharing the experience.
The community.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I recently went to like a Sunday service in a spiritual church.
So tell me about that, because we haven't really talked about that.
So that was quite interesting. Now, I have a Catholic background, so it was quite different from what I was used to. So they come and they were talking about astrology. So I was like, Becky would like this.
Yep.
They sung like 2 songs. And then at the end, they did healing. So that was very interesting. They had some chairs on each side, and they had hands-on healing. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you don't get that in a regular church.
No,
Nor
not
do
at
you do
all.
astrology or anything else,
No.
too. So that's awesome.
And then they did mediumship readings after that.
That
So it was
is
like-
really cool.
It was really, really cool. I should
Very
go
cool.
back. We have city. Did you want to go to the city?
Okay. So what I saw, which is funny because, so you know how if you look at a map of the United States where it's just the lights,
Mm-hmm.
so the whole thing is black except for where it's heavy concentrated, and then you can zoom into the cities, right? Well, this started off in the Twin Cities, which is our Minneapolis, St. Paul area. So it zoomed out of the Twin Cities and then it zoomed back into like New York area in Times Square. And I remember seeing, like, I was standing still and everything else was moving super fast around me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I heard the honking and the chaos and the busyness of the noise, and I just felt very rushed. And then I saw myself stop and look around and almost detach from the chaos. This is only for me, but it was perfect because I don't always think like other people. My knowing was it's okay not to join the crowd.
I like that.
What do you have for city?
Okay, so I have some background to explain my city.
Okay.
So when I was younger, I used to work in the city. I worked on the east side. I used to take the subway in and the express bus home. So then I had the pleasure of driving to work for many, many years. Loved it.
Very heavy on the sarcasm, right?
Yes, because even though there's tons of traffic, I still like driving to work than going into the subway, you know?
Can't even imagine. If I'm stuck in traffic in my town, that means there's 5 or 6 cars in front of me.
Oh my goodness.
Getting from one end of town to the other maybe takes 10 minutes. And that's like the very edge of towns. So I don't understand that at all.
So my good day driving into work would be 40 minutes, but every other day it was like hour and 15 because of the traffic. And it was more than 5 or 6 cars.
Sorry. Don't mean to interrupt. Yeah, I do.
So that was when I worked in New York. Okay, when I lived in New York, then I moved to New Jersey. And I wasn't working in the city. Maybe I went to the city from where I am a couple of different times. I think I took the ferry once. When I got this job opportunity, it was an opportunity I couldn't resist. So I took it. But I had to have Anastasia do a trial run with me. So I asked her to, and she did. And she wrote me out beautiful directions. She was just great with that. So perfect daughter. So the first scene I got was the one from Backpack where I see the wall. But then I went to a time in Penn Station when none of the trains were working. There were camera people, and the amount of people crowded in this little area, just sitting up, looking at the screens, was not good. So I felt anxious, maybe a little panicky. What do I do? How do I get home? And there wasn't really a good place to stand without feeling all of this energy, because now everybody's looking, everybody's anxious, all of this. And, you know, I'm hearing mumbles from the transit workers saying something, but everybody else was talking and it was loud. And in the morning, it happened too. So I had to go all the way to Hoboken in New Jersey and then take the path into Manhattan. So I was able to leave that train. So I'm like, I have that scene of what happened being in that train station like that. It was terrible. The knowing I got was there's always a different way to get home, or a different way if you find yourself in a pickle. So there's always a way to get around. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's very insightful because as you're telling the story, what I'm getting is that you, no matter which way you turn, if the road's blocked, there's always a different road.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a great, the metaphor in that. I think when I feel like I'm trapped, and once you get it locked in your head, only this way works, then you go nowhere because you're stuck. So that's the beauty of, like, when I started doing this, the more open I became, the more avenues actually opened.
Mm.
And that's what I kind of am getting from your story. So thank you for sharing. It's wonderful.
It was just like one of those days, like, what do I do? Because I think I was thinking that too. Like, what happens if I get stuck in the city? Where do I go? What do I do? How do I get home? Or did you want to do box?
No, you go ahead. Go for box.
Okay. There was like no music at the end of the meditation, so I'm not sure what happened, if I accidentally deleted it or not, but I'll fix it and upload it again.
Okay.
So the scene I saw a plain medium-sized box. It was square and like all the flaps were open. And the walls look red like my basement, but I was in my hallway near the doors. But the walls there are eggplant. So it was weird. It was like one of those, I see something, but I feel like I'm somewhere else, The box was empty. When I went to pick up the box, I could hear like my fingernails against the cardboard, and it felt light. And the smell, how cardboard box smells. And the knowing I got is this box is for whatever I want to put in it. Intention, goals, memories, seeking help. That's what it's there for. That's it.
That's really cool. Okay. Box was interesting for me.
Oh, I knew it.
I know, right? Little background. First time I ever went to New York City. It was in 1998. And this was a family trip. It was my sisters and their significant others at the time. I had just gotten married, and my mom and my dad. Anyway, and my brother-in-law, he grew up in Brooklyn. So he was our driver, took us around. So that's where it started, is that trip. So we were there in July of 1998. And all sorts of festivals. And this is what my box was. I saw a mime.
Yes.
When the mime is doing the box.
Yes.
So that is what I was seeing. I was seeing this mime from the streets in this box, and he was doing the whole imaginary box thing. And I felt this feeling of surprise, and I heard nothing, but it wasn't because I didn't get anything. It was because it was void of sound, because like I was in my own little box. Okay.
Yeah. And a mime doesn't speak either.
Exactly. So what I think it was my subconscious was the mime. Okay, this is what I wrote. Just know that the boundaries that I restrict myself to are like those of the mime's box, invisible to everyone but me. This led me to also the knowing of I am the only one that is restricting my abilities.
Wow, that's powerful.
That was what I got for box. So yeah, it was a very strong message to myself from my subconsciousness that I'm the only one restricting my abilities.
Wow. Now,
and go ahead.
So I was going to ask if the mime was in New York.
It was a full face, the whole, what you would typically picture when you think of mime.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your second New York story.
I know. Yeah. Apparently this was, I must have been channeling you, Ro.
Yeah.
Started with chapel. Yeah. It started with chapel because you're in my head. So now, obviously, our next one is bridge. I can start with bridge, or do you want to start with bridge?
It's up to you.
Okay. I'll start with bridge. So what I saw was like an old stone bridge. Now I'm looking at my notes. This is really cool. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was like an old stone bridge that had like 3 different pillars on it and stuff like that. 2 pillars in the middle. It was like I was dreaming. The bridge was like a pencil drawing. Okay.
Okay.
Right. And half of it was actually colored in. And I was standing on the bridge halfway through. Was colored, and at the point where it was colored and where it was not colored in, I stood at that point, right? And the bridge itself was strong and it was sturdy. And I felt very lost but found at the same time. I didn't hear anything. I smelt wildflowers and fresh air and kind of earthy tones, because there was wildflowers all over this bridge that were colored in and they were gorgeous. I didn't have any taste. But here's the thing that was really quite key to this. So obviously I am standing in the middle. If you're looking at a piece of paper, on the left side was all colored in. So it was kind of like the past, and the right side was the future. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is what I knew. Like this, life, the drawing, is not colored. And I'm the only one that chooses how my drawing or life is to be colored.
Oh, yeah. I really like that.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. And like I said, it was all delicate, but yet bold on the past part. And then there was so much openness to the future.
Wow.
So yeah. Okay. So what'd you get?
So I saw a bridge. It was more of a footbridge. It was made of stone too. But the scene was more picturesque. So the bridge was in the middle of a field and like butterflies were floating around it. But the field was flat. There was absolutely no need for the bridge. There was no water.
Okay.
So when I walked over to the other side, I felt like I was going into a different land, like a more vibrant, almost like cartoony. And I didn't see animals, but I felt them. And the knowing I got is when you make the first step to cross over the bridge, it brings you to worlds unknown by you, but you need to make the first step.
Oh, that's powerful. That's really cool. When you're talking, I am imagining, I don't know why I went there, but Roger Rabbit, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
You cross the bridge or you go through the tunnel, and it's a world you've never experienced before.
Yeah. That's what kind of felt like. Like it was more cartoony. It was weird.
That's cool. How about Broom? What did you get?
Oh, gosh. Broom. Okay. So this one was a surprise for me. First, I saw a close-up picture of like a straw-type broom in the corner. Like sort of the brooms that were on the meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get a chaotic scene with Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
And all these brooms are just like multiplying. And did you ever see the movie Fantasia?
It's been so long, I don't remember. Yes, I've seen it, but I don't remember. Yeah.
So when I continue the meditation, the brooms begin to behave. I heard the brooms marching in order. I felt excited. And the knowing I got was in order to gain control, it comes with practice. There are others that'll help. Seek within and to the universe. Fantasia is from the 1940s, and this was a little scene in Fantasia. So Mickey Mouse thinks he's a genius, and he loses control of his own spell. And the brooms won't stop, and the water floods everywhere, and Mickey panics, and he tries to stop it. But every time he interferes, chaos just multiplies. And the sorcerer came and had to help him fix it. So that was the scene from Fantasia. That was what it was about.
Okay.
How about your broom?
Okay, my broom. We're going to go to a movie also. So, have you ever seen the movie Practical Magic? Not the new version, the original.
I don't remember.
Okay. So there's a scene in the movie where they have brooms and they use the brooms to make a circle and they're ridding the demon, right? And so this is a scene I saw. And what I was seeing was the women have to use these brooms to sweep out the ashes of this thing. I'm seeing the dust fly. I'm seeing it all brought to the door and released. So I heard them laughing. I felt the excitement and nervousness of the thought of something new. I smelt and felt the dust. And the knowing that I had was change can be scary, but that's where adventure lives.
Oh, very cool.
So I don't know what that has to do with broom, but that's what I got. I don't know.
They're both a little bit magical.
Yes. So did you find anything that actually surprised you? Any of the words this month that surprised you?
They all surprised me in one way or another.
This is true.
Like, I wasn't expecting to see Mickey Mouse in part of my meditations. They all surprised me and they all brought different messages. And I was glad that I got through all of them this trip. How about you?
You know, I agree with your sentiment where they all surprise you. 100% agree with that. But if I was to pick one, I would say it was Bridge, because I think that one spoke to me the most, because I hadn't even put it together until just now, is no matter what my past looked like, it was always beautiful.
I love that.
So yeah, that one for me stuck with me the most. Is there one that you would redo?
Redo. Maybe I would look in a little bit more to courage to see if what I inferred was correct. How about you?
You know, not because I didn't get anything, but I would like to know more. It would be desire. Because it seemed like could be so much more to it.
Yeah. What would you want our woo-woo seekers to try to pay attention to before our next round?
I love that phrase.
I know.
I try to stop myself from using that phrase because it's so apt to a lot of things in this realm of, you know, when you're doing this, is pay attention to your body. Where are you feeling it? I think I lacked doing that the first time. I just went in and I did it, and this is what I got. And I wasn't fully paying attention to how my body was talking to me. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but what type of feeling did you get?
Right. Like anxiety. So what did anxiety teach me? Does that make sense? That kind of carry over, and I'm not paying attention to the carryover. I guess that's what I'm looking for, is the carryover.
I noticed that I'm not getting much smelling or tasting.
Yeah, I agree. Mostly the tasting. I don't get much tasting.
I don't either. It's very hard to get tasting on some of these, but yeah, I'm not getting that smell piece as well. So I don't know.
Okay. So we've explained to you before, Spirit speaks differently to each and every one of us. Sometimes the Claire is stronger for me. Sometimes another one is stronger for Ro. This is why Spirit adapts its messages. We each receive guidance in the way that we've most able to understand it and act on it. And that's the beauty of building the spiritual dictionary. Every time we practice and share, we're expanding our understanding of how spirit communicates through everyday life.
And remember, each word we went through today has a meditation that goes along with it over on our YouTube channel at Woo Woo Seekers. So if you didn't get a clear sense through one of the Claires, or if you just want to explore a word more deeply, you can always revisit it in the meditation. And these are great ways to reconnect and practice your class and notice how spirit might speak to you differently each time. And remember, we love to hear from you and see what you got with your words. So please email us at woowooseekers@gmail.com. And before we close, what are we doing next week?
Well, in our next episode, we'll be exploring intuition. That is the quiet inner voice that knows before you do. We'll explore how to recognize it, trust it, and let it guide you in ways only you can. Our newsletter drops on December 1st, delivering the complete schedule of episodes for the month. You'll get access to all the guided meditations for the new words of the month, plus some extra magic. Take a peek at the astrology happenings with simple tips to navigate the energy inside of astrology aspects, and our monthly tarot tidbits, where we explore the hidden meanings one card at a time. Don't miss out on our monthly dose of spiritual tools. Head over to comegetwoowoo.com and click on newsletter to subscribe today. Thanks, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks for getting woo-woo with us today. If something sparked a memory, a message, or just made you smile, share it with a fellow seeker, because the journey is always better when you can grow together. Be sure to find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Woo Woo Seekers, so you can like, follow, and subscribe.
You can also follow us by visiting our website, comegetwoowoo.com. We are so much more than just another podcast. We're building a community of seekers just like us. We love hearing from you. If you've got signs, symbols, or stories that you want to share, email us at woowooseekers@gmail.com. Or any questions about today's episode, you can email us at comegetwoowoo@gmail.com.
Until next time, stay curious, stay open, and as always, come get woo-woo with us.